Hi everyone. Welcome back to our channel, English Rise. If you want to improve your English, your mindset, and your life, make sure to subscribe. Today's episode is calm, deep, and honest. Today, we talk about something most people never master: how to focus on yourself. Now, slow down, take a breath, and let's begin. Part 1. The noise of the world. We live in a loud world, a world full of voices, opinions, notifications, expectations. Everyone wants your attention. Everyone wants your energy. Everyone wants your time. Social media tells you who to be. Society tells you what success looks like. Other people tell you how to live your life. And slowly, you stop listening to yourself. You wake up tired, not because you work too much, but because your mind is never quiet. You feel lost, confused, disconnected, not because you are weak, but because you are overstimulated. The world is loud, and your inner voice is quiet. To focus on yourself, you must first reduce the noise. Part 2. Why most people never focus on themselves. Most people are afraid of silence. Silence forces you to think. Silence forces you to feel. Silence forces you to face yourself. So people stay busy. They scroll. They consume. They distract themselves. Because distraction is easier than self-reflection. When you focus on others, you don't have to face your fears, your doubts, your responsibilities. Focusing on yourself means asking hard questions. Who am I? What do I want? What am I avoiding? Why am I unhappy? These questions are uncomfortable. That is why most people avoid them. But here's the truth. If you don't focus on yourself, you will live someone else's life. And that is the real danger. Part 3. Focus is not selfish. Many people believe focusing on yourself is selfish. They think, if I focus on myself, I am ignoring others. This is a lie. You cannot help others if you are lost, if you are exhausted, if you are empty. You cannot give clarity if you live in confusion. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. It is self-respect. It is responsibility. It is maturity. When you focus on yourself, you become stronger, calmer, clearer, and only then can you truly show up for others. Part 4. The power of solitude. Solitude is powerful, not loneliness. Solitude. Loneliness is pain. Solitude is choice. Solitude is when you are alone, but at peace. Great thinkers loved solitude. Great leaders needed solitude. Great creators respected solitude. Because solitude removes external influence. When you are alone, there is no comparison, no pressure, no performance. Only you. In solitude, you hear your thoughts clearly. You understand your emotions deeply. You reconnect with your values. If you want focus, you must schedule solitude. Not once a year, not once a month, but daily. Even 10 minutes is enough. Sit, breathe, do nothing. Let your mind settle. This is where focus begins. Part 5. The dark truth about distraction. Distraction is comfortable. It gives pleasure without effort, noise without meaning, movement without progress. But distraction slowly destroys focus. Every time you check your phone, your attention breaks. Every time you multitask, your mind weakens. Every time you react instead of choose, you lose control. Focus is a muscle, and distraction makes it weak. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. To focus on yourself, you must protect your attention. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Part 6. The art of doing less. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing less. Less noise, less comparison, less meaningless activity. Most people are busy, but not focused. They fill their days, but empty their lives. Focus requires clarity. You must decide what matters, what does not. Say no more often. Cancel unnecessary commitments. Stop trying to please everyone. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to respond to everything. You need space. Space to think. Space to grow. Space to become. Part 7. Reconnecting with your inner voice. Your inner voice is quiet, but it is honest. It doesn't scream. It doesn't rush. It waits. To hear it, you must slow down. Ask yourself simple questions. What makes me feel alive? What drains my energy? What am I avoiding? What do I truly want? Write the answers. Don't judge them. Just listen. Your inner voice already knows the way. You just stopped listening. Part 8. Stop comparing yourself. Comparison destroys focus. When you compare, you stop being present. You look at others' lives, others' success, others' timelines, and you forget one thing. You don't see their struggles, their doubts, their pain. You only see highlights. Your journey is unique. Your pace is different. Your purpose is personal. Focus on your path. Comparison steals clarity. Focus restores it. Part 9. Building a daily focus ritual. Focus is built daily, not with motivation, but with structure. Create a simple ritual. Wake up. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Breathe, stretch, think. Write one intention for the day, one thing that truly matters. Do it slowly, do it fully, do it without distraction. One focused action is more powerful than 10 rushed ones. Part 10. Emotional focus. To focus on yourself, you must face your emotions, not suppress them, not escape them. Feel them. Sadness, anger, fear. They are signals, not enemies. When you ignore emotions, they control you. When you accept them, they guide you. Emotional clarity creates mental focus. Part 11. The story of the lost person. There was a person who lived for others, always available, always responding, always helping. But inside, they felt empty. They didn't know who they were anymore. They forgot their dreams. They lost direction. One day they stopped. They chose silence, solitude, focus. They reduced noise. They listened inward. They rebuilt their identity. And slowly, they came back to life. Not louder, but stronger. Not busier, but clearer. That person could be you. Part 12. Focus is a daily decision. Focus is not a personality trait. It is a decision, every day. You choose what deserves your attention. You choose what you ignore. Some days are harder. Some days you fail. That's okay. Return to yourself, again and again. Progress is not perfection. It is consistency. Part 13. Who you become when you focus on yourself. When you focus on yourself, you become calm. You become confident. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. You stop seeking validation. You stop chasing approval. You know who you are, and that changes everything. Part 14. Why focus feels so difficult today. Focusing on yourself feels difficult. Not because you are weak, not because you lack discipline, but because the world is designed to distract you. Every app competes for your attention. Every notification interrupts your thoughts. Every platform rewards speed, not depth. You are trained to react, not to reflect. React to messages, react to news, react to opinions. And when you react all the time, you lose control of your inner direction. Focus requires resistance. Resistance against urgency. Resistance against noise. Resistance against constant stimulation. To focus on yourself today is an act of rebellion. A quiet one. A powerful one. Part 15. Your attention is your life energy. Your attention is not unlimited. Every day, you wake up with a certain amount of mental energy, and every distraction consumes it. Scrolling consumes it. Arguing consumes it. Comparing consumes it. Overthinking consumes it. By the end of the day, you feel tired, but you didn't build anything meaningful because your energy was scattered. Where attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, your life grows. If you give your attention to everything, nothing truly grows. To focus on yourself, you must reclaim your attention. Guard it, protect it, direct it intentionally. Part 16. The difference between busy and focused. Being busy feels productive, but it often isn't. Busy means movement. Focused means direction. You can be busy for years and still feel lost. Focused people do less, but achieve more. They choose carefully. They move slowly. They act intentionally. They don't rush. They don't panic. They don't chase everything. They know their priorities. Ask yourself honestly, am I busy or am I focused? The answer changes everything. Part 17. Focus requires letting go. You cannot focus on yourself while holding on to everything. Old expectations, old identities, old habits, old versions of yourself. Growth requires release. Let go of who you were. Let go of who others expect you to be. Let go of unnecessary guilt. Let go of constant explanations. You do not owe everyone access to your life. Privacy creates clarity. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you hear yourself more clearly. Part 18. Why people resist focusing on themselves. Many people avoid focusing on themselves because it changes things, and change is uncomfortable. When you focus inward, you see what is wrong, what is misaligned, what needs to end. And endings are scary. Ending habits, ending relationships, ending lifestyles. But staying unfocused is even more dangerous because years pass, opportunities disappear, and regret grows silently. Focus today prevents regret tomorrow. Part 19. Mental clutter and internal noise. Your mind is often noisy. Thoughts repeat, worries loop, memories interrupt. This mental clutter blocks focus. To focus on yourself, you must declutter your mind, not by force, but by awareness. Observe your thoughts. Don't fight them. Let them pass. Like clouds in the sky. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer. This realization creates space, and space creates focus. Part 20. Building self-trust. Focus on yourself requires self-trust. Trusting your decisions, trusting your pace, trusting your intuition. Many people look outside because they don't trust inside. They ask everyone for advice. They wait for permission. They seek validation. But clarity comes from self-trust. And self-trust is built by action. Small promises, kept daily. When you say you will do something, do it. Confidence grows quietly. Focus follows naturally. Part 21. The role of discipline in focus. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline is choosing yourself even when you don't feel like it. Choosing silence over noise. Choosing depth over comfort. Choosing growth over distraction. Discipline does not mean rigidity. It means commitment. Commitment to your inner life. Commitment to clarity. commitment to progress. A focused life is a disciplined life, not harsh, not extreme, but intentional. Part 22. The cost of never focusing on yourself. If you never focus on yourself, life chooses for you. Others decide your schedule. Others define your priorities. Others shape your identity. Years pass quickly, and one day you realize you lived reacting instead of choosing. That realization hurts. Focus is not optional. It is essential. Part 23. What a focused life feels like. A focused life feels calm, not perfect, not easy, but grounded. You wake up with clarity. You move with intention. You speak with confidence. You don't rush. You don't chase. You don't compare. You act. You adjust. You grow. This is the reward of focus. Part 24. Daily questions for self-focus. Ask yourself every day, what deserves my attention today? What can wait? What drains me? What strengthens me? Simple questions. Powerful impact. They guide your focus back to yourself. Focusing on yourself is not about isolation. It is about alignment. Alignment between your thoughts, your actions, and your values. When alignment exists, life flows more easily. You feel present. You feel purposeful. You feel whole. Thank you for watching. If this episode helped you, and if you want more deep, powerful English content, make sure to subscribe to English Rise. I'll see you in the next episode. And remember, your life becomes clear when your focus returns to you.